Welcome to the Mentor Studio, where today's thought leaders and leading entrepreneurs inspire and bring real-world ideas that help you take your career to levels you've only dreamed of. Now buckle in. Here's your host, Michael Silvers.
Hi, everyone. I wanted to welcome you to the Mentor Studio tonight. It's great to have you on. My name is Michael Silvers. We do have people listening, and we're going to also send this out to our YouTube channel, so we're so glad to have that. Our guest tonight we've had before with his partner in business, your partner in crime. It was a great call. That call actually will go live in about a week on our podcast, and so for those of you listening to it, you're going to get a double dose of Randy when this one comes up because you'll be hearing him again. People who are over on the channel will be able to watch it ahead of time because they'll see the live feed, but they put a little bit of a fancier feed on once they do the production on the video. So, Randy, it was a great call last time because really with what's going on, we talked about where they have to look at because the market had just crashed, right? We hit it, I swear we hit it that day when the market had just crashed for a couple of days. But can you tell us a little bit about yourself again and what you're going to cover tonight? And because I think it's the mindset, how masterminds really work in their businesses and how they can use them. And just, you've done so much with business. Tell them a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so we won't go all the way back, but I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I started my first company 30 years ago, ran it, built it, sold it to a big billion-dollar publicly traded company, then went out and started doing the things I really love to do, which is teach. My first career, my first profession, you know this, Michael, I was a high school science teacher. That's what I like to do. I like to teach. Unfortunately, there's no money in that world. So I took that teaching skill and put it to work teaching small businesses all over the world. I've spoke on every continent except Antarctica. I've coached thousands of small businesses in both masterminds and in one-on-one settings, in workshops, and all different types of training. And there's just some fundamental things around being an entrepreneur, running a business that have to happen, that are consistent. I like to call them, I've coined this term myself, it's pretty professional. I call it widget agnostic. Widget agnostic rules that every business has to follow if they want to be successful. And then that led me into working with a company called Infusionsoft, where I eventually came on. I was one of their vice presidents there. I ran all of the small business education and training components of the company and the internal training as well for the internal employees. And along the way, I've worked with, the Gerbers, Asrafs, all the people that talk about mindset. And sometimes, I'm going to touch on this. I put some thought into it after you text me to talk about this tonight. Yep. Your mindset is consistent across all the genres of the things you do. It's not just about your mindset around investing or your mindset around your job or your mindset around the thing that you're passionate about, your hobby, your family. How you do anything is how you do everything, and that includes mindset. So that's my background. I've ran an executive coaching company as well that's still in existence. It's doing very well, and I do some of that from time to time. But right now, as you know, my energy is completely focused for the last 4 years on disrupting the financial services industry with a software company called iFlip. So that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, and with what you've created, one thing you always had it because we did a lot of work with you, obviously, when you were in Infusionsoft. Yeah. Was the teams and the team concept and how important that was. And you created early on in Infusionsoft Masterminds. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, one of the things we did even in Infusionsoft has a lot of programs for varying size of businesses. We also had, and they still do, various mastermind groups. A mastermind is not, some people think, well, what do I need a mastermind for? Or that person doesn't do what I do, so why would they have any input on my thing? Those are common objections to masterminding, when in fact, what we did at Infusionsoft, and I spent a lot of time with the elite group, the people that had $1 million and up businesses.
Right.
One thing they all had in common, they all were part of not just one, but multiple mastermind groups. Because when you get into a safe environment where you can have a conversation about a problem you're having and be open to the reception of others who don't see it the way you see it, they're from a different arena. You might be a lawyer, they might be a doctor, and one guy might be a roofer. You still all have employees. You still all have, accounts receivable problems. You still have, how am I going to grow? What am I going to do next? And when you listen to the way other people are doing it, that's the way you can start to get outside of your own head, get out of your own box, and find things. And masterminds, I think this, Michael, I talk about it a lot. They're one of, if not the most powerful way to grow quickly.
I was going to ask, right? Because I agree with you.
That's why I gave you the pause.
I know. That was well done. You fed me the question.
That's
why?
A softball, man.
Right, that's right.
You got to hit that. So the reason being is because anytime you can get like-minded individuals, especially if they're from varying fields of business and study, different genders, different ethnicities, even, different religions. People that look at the world differently. I use the word occurrence a lot. They have a different occurrence. When you can start to get the perspective of that, of as wide a range as possible in a narrow focus, that makes sense, a wide range into a narrow focus on your problem, your thing, then you will grow exponentially faster because you'll start getting those moments. And here, I'll put it like this. Anytime you've ever, and this is for everybody on this call, but anytime something has occurred to you that previously did not, and you're like, wow, I didn't get that before. If you can think of a time like that, when that happened to you, it might have been when you learned how to tie your shoe. Like, oh, that's how you do it. And all of a sudden you now know something you didn't know, or you see something you couldn't see. Masterminds put that process on steroids. That is why you get the ability to grow faster, more, and not just faster, more efficiently, because you're getting perspectives from people that have different occurrences, different opinions. Does that mean everything that comes to you in a mastermind is going to be great? Is it a bunch of people telling you what to do? No, it's a bunch of people giving you perspectives to help you shift or grow your occurrence. That's why.
That's right, and that's great. We find a lot of different types in different businesses, and a lot of masterminds that I have found out there have moved towards the networking model. It's become much more of a networking group. Can you talk about the difference?
Yeah, there's a huge difference, and they're both good. So just so we're clear, I don't want you to think one's better or different than the other, but the idea, a networking group is where you're going to go and meet people to do business with, in a simple definition. Either stuff that you need or stuff that they need that you have. You're helping, serving.
That's right. That's right.
And when you shift into a mastermind group, you're being served when it's your turn. And you're not being served by buying, somebody buying your wares. You're being served through knowledge, ideas, and occurrences that are shifting back and forth between the group. All right?
Right. That's right. And I think, by the way, you saw that direction of mine, because I saw a cat take off with two dogs. The kids are over, there's dogs over, and all of a sudden this train went by it was pretty funny, actually.
It was good timing because I'm watching a deer just moseyed up right here outside my window and eating one of my trees.
Right, that's right. The working from home and everything, right? Is this the best thing that's ever happened? There's more experiences. What is that guy who is he was doing a business call and his little kid walked in? It's had 10 million views.
That's not uncommon. I was listening to my wife. She was on a call with her company, and it's a big call. And all of a sudden, I hear her calling for our dog.
Right.
What's going on over there? Apparently, everyone was showing their dogs. So it's a different way to do stuff. It'll never go back 100% to the way it was, but it also will not stay 100% like this.
No. So you were saying about masterminds.
Yes. You derailed me there, man.
I got distracted. It's like squirrel.
Look, yeah, that was a legitimate look squirrel moment. So yeah, you know, when you can get, again, the difference between a networking group and a mastermind, so that we're clear on that. You know, networking groups are great. They have an awesome place for what we do. I go to them all the time because in a networking group, I'm there trying to find new customers or find people that have a service or product I can use. That's networking.
Right.
Mastermind, I'm trying to solve problems in my business. And if you don't have problems in your business, you don't have a business. So we all have them. We're all looking for ways to solve them. Masterminds are about solving problems inside your business that you're struggling with. Two different objectives. And you are correct. The good mastermind groups, there's not a lot of them left anymore. They're not as easy to find. People don't get the value. They're caught up in the modern, I just want to go meet a bunch of people and pitch my stuff model versus I actually have a sales issue or an employee issue, or I'm struggling with how my payroll is set up, or, you know, I've got product development. There's all kinds of things going on inside your business that you're going to need help with, or, you know, it's not just business. I know I focused it on that because we're in the mentor studio, but that, you know, you can have masterminds in the professional development space and mindset space around how to look at problems differently, how to deal with family, how to deal with friends. They can help you with everything, but again, I'll say it one more time. The big difference, networking is about you growing your group of people around you and things that you can use or people that can use your stuff. Masterminding is about a laser focus on a problem you're having inside your business.
Right. And I think the biggest piece there that, you know, we sometimes lose too, which is great about this. Everybody wanting to build a mastermind for your business. I think a big factor in that too is you've got to be a service, right? You've got to want to do it more for them and dive into their business. And you sort of, in a way, you take all your business skills and knowledge, but you'll forget about your business. You're like, I bring my business to you, not because I want to prospect you or bring you into my business or all about me, or I do it because how can I be of service?
Yep, that's exactly it. A properly ran mastermind group generally has around 4 or 5 people. You don't get too many. The more you get too many, then it becomes too diluted. So if you think about a weekly mastermind call, and even if you're going hard, you're going an hour, 2 people, a half hour each, you're now only going to get the focus on you 1 out of every 4 weeks.
Right.
And the rest of the time you're there to give. And so I've also been a part of mastermind groups where people only show up when it's their turn to get help.
Yes.
That's not very helpful. or they'll type in, I don't have any problems, and then they vanish. The foundation of the mastermind is the foundation of the mastermind, you said it perfectly, is the service. It is you wanting to serve other people and give back to them based on the experiences you've had in life. You can share stuff with them and they'll be grateful that you did because, again, you can give them something that has not yet occurred to them.
That's right. When you know, and we'll take it because we want to look at each other's businesses, but, you know, as you built iFlip, and, you know, talk a little bit about iFlip again, just because there's going to be new listeners on this time who were, you know, not on the last call. You know how podcasts work.
Yeah.
But when you built iFlip, so talk a little bit about iFlip, but then talk a little bit how you used what you're talking about to actually build the company. Monkey see, monkey do, practice what you preach. And, you know, I'll give you a perfect example of how we built this. iFlip as a company, we're a software company that's disrupting the financial services space. We're an AI machine that allows the average Joe to participate in the stock market with the effectiveness and the efficiency of an institution. There is no other product like it in the industry. We are the first to market with a true AI product. Now, the reason we're able to do that, I'll back upstream for you. The reason we're able to do that is because of my business partner who was on last time, Kelly Korshak. He's right.
a guy that went to Stanford's physics program when he was 16 years old. He's managed billions of dollars for big institutions. He knows how it works. But when I was still at Infusionsoft, after I'd met Kelly and we started kicking this idea around, I was running my own mastermind education event with my executive coaching company. It was for small executives. And one of the things that I required was that he attend and spend 3 days up to his eyeballs in mindset, leadership, and masterminding. And he needed to come out of there with an understanding of language and how I do things and how we work, so that he could determine if we could or could not work together. Luckily, he did. So we use everything I talk about. One of the things when you talk about mindset around money, as a company, we communicate very, very well.
Right.
That's extremely important. There's no such thing as silos. The customer service guy never talk to the sales guy, who never talks to the product development guy. We have weekly calls with the whole team. Everybody's on there. I give them updates of what's going on. They know where we're at in our fundraising. They know where we're at in downloads and sales. Everybody knows all the pieces of what we're doing, and we share that very openly. We also treat these like little masterminds. I take my 5 key people, and I'll just have a call with them and what's going on with you, what's going on with you. They might not know they're in a mastermind, but they're in a mastermind. So guys, our customer service guys having a problem here. I need some thought partnership, and the way I always do it. And what's funny is I'll show you, I'll move my computer and show you. I keep it right here with me. It's a process I use inside the company. I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't really quite see it. Sorry, it's not big enough. It says reserve the decision, and it's language around what I use with our group. Yeah, I'm the CEO. I can just say I'm the CEO. That's why. That's not an effective way to build a company. Right. I say I'm in the discovery process. I'm trying to figure some stuff out. I keep the words right here. I need your best thinking, because I'm trying to determine what to do. I haven't made a decision. We're in decision-making phase. They give me their input. We talk about it. I get input from multiple people that it might impact, and then I make a decision. Now, that's leading by, I call it by mastermind or by committee, but when you're doing this and when you build your company from that perspective and everybody feels safe that they have a seat at the table, they can tell you when they think you're wrong, they can tell you when they think you've got a bad idea, and believe me, they're not afraid to tell me. We work very well together because of that. So, when you think about the mindset around money, and a lot of it has to do with fear and investing and things like that, your job as a leader, as you're growing your company, is to be in a safe place. Make sure your place is safe for everybody there. The minute somebody works for you and they feel afraid to have a conversation with you, you've truly lost. It will become very, very difficult. And I talk about that a lot. I practice it a lot. I do my very best. Do I get mad sometimes? Yeah, we all do. However, I'm very intentional about that, because at the end of the day, and I like to teach on this a lot, every single person on this call, Michael, including you and Ron and everybody I can see here, when we wash it all down, we get paid to have quality conversations. Our ability to have quality conversations is what we get paid to do. We can only do that. We can only do that in a safe environment. Otherwise, I get into a world of telling and dictating, and that doesn't work. It'll work for a minute. It can have a season. You might have to say, hey, team, for the next 30 days, we got to get some stuff done. We're going to go a little harder. And if you've done a good job of creating a safe environment, they'll respect that. They will absolutely be good with it. They'll have no problems with it, and you'll be off and running. And the last thing I'll say about that one of the things that I insist upon, and I do this with Masterminding a lot, is, are you able to disagree and still commit? It's not an easy thing to see, and a lot of people scratch their head. And I get asked this question a lot. When you're hiring, how do you do this? What do you look for? A question I will ask is, are you able to disagree and commit? because we don't have a dictatorship. I'm able to disagree and commit. And if for the team thinks we should go one, I think another, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm leaning on the fence. I might not agree with their way they would think it, but I'll commit and go full throttle at it. And that disagree and commit mindset is very important to grow.
Right.
Sorry, you got me on a soapbox.
Yeah, no, that's perfect, because I think that's such an important piece that we sometimes don't have that kind of communication. We don't have the communication in as a team, right? There's because either I'm afraid of you, or either I'm afraid of going up, or up doesn't even want to talk to going down, or sometimes you have the leader afraid to talk to the team because they're afraid of what might be said or what might come out. And I think, there you get a big, or I need to be liked, right? Right? I need to be liked, because I need to be liked. What does it do from a business position? And how many, so you've got a lot of solo entrepreneurs that are going to be listening to this call. That's probably where we're having, and actually people in entertainment. We have the other side too, but they're all solo entrepreneurs. And can you talk about the need to be liked a little bit and what that can do to an organization?
Yeah, man, if you need to be liked and that's your motivation for doing stuff, get over that. It just doesn't work. Also, in the world of solopreneurs, the greatest solopreneurs in the world have the most dynamic teams. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. You're not going to do it yourself. You're not a master bookkeeper, accountant, tax specialist, marketer, salesperson, creator, executioner. It doesn't matter. You might make the best pie in the world. You can be the best cook ever. But if you don't have a team of some facet around you, and independent contractors that are serving you and your cause are just as good as employees. I'm not saying you got to have a big group of employees, but you have to have a team. If you can't identify the team that you need, then you're not doing it right. So you need to get on a mastermind and start having some conversations with some people, because it's important. Michael, when you think about it, that all the work get done, but no one can do it all themselves. Right. Gerber talks about that a lot in his little email. You just can't do it all yourself. And so you also can't just sit around and daydream about it. Simon Sinek and the Why, I love it. Great concept, beautiful idea. But there's something just as important as why. And people always look at me a little funny when I say this, and it's another word. It's called how. Sitting around in your garage chanting Maserati, Maserati, Maserati does not make a Maserati just show up in your driveway. You might want a picture of it, United Vision board. Oh, I love all that stuff. I do all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you got to roll up your sleeves and go to work, right? That's right. And so to that language piece, you have to have an understanding that language builds and creates team. From that team will create the thing that you're the vision of. You're a solopreneur, you're your own CEO, you're your own, pound your chest, you're your own boss, be all that stuff. Now go and roll the tribe that's going to help you get the work done. That's the key piece. So hope that was what you were looking for there.
It was, yeah, and that's that critical piece. I think that's that was perfect. I don't need to say anything on top of that. That's exactly what I was looking for without looking for it, because it's the kind of thing too. I know that I'm always learning, right? And what's interesting is, like, right now, what's going on in the universe, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of people. Okay, everybody has to remember this. 10% of the workforce at the moment, it's even a little bit more, might not be working, but the rest still are. So we have a tendency of looking at what's not instead of what truly is. And, it's sad, the ones who are not working. I have to be honest, everybody I know is working. They're either been deemed essential, or they're home-based businesses that shifted when they saw things happening. They did a shift, or they were able to pause, or there's enough financial reserves where they could take a pause. So I think it is that mental attitude that you keep going. And now there's so much going on virtually, right? Less people are showing up for this and this call because, oh my gosh, if I have to sit on another Zoom call. And I keep saying, I understand that. But what you do is don't take yourself out of the game that was working just because there's another Zoom call, whatever that is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, that's avoiding the how.
That's right. That's right. And people, we said, they're like, well, I've always said, and everybody who knows me, the ones who knows me really well will smile at this, but buy every course and read every book, right? Because you're always, there we go. You're always investing and educating. That can never stop. And what happens is we get into fear, that stops, and now you've just, within weeks, you can stop momentum that takes another year to get going again. And
literally, you can stop it that fast, and when you asked me to come on and weave in this conversation, like you texted me earlier, can you talk about the mindset of investing? I've done lots of teaching on this stuff, and that's not where my brain was originally, but I took the rest of the time from when you texted me, and I started really thinking about it. Why do people invest? Why do they invest? Why would you invest your money? And it's really funny. It comes right back to it's not for the money. It's for all the other things. There's usually about 4 or 5 levels of separation down to why you would invest your money. Why would you put money in someone else's small business, or in the stock market, or in a piece of real estate?
Right.
Well, because you want to get more money. No, it's not because you want to get more money. It's because you want some more things, or more stuff, or more. Generally, it has to do, if you boil it down far enough, it has to do with legacy, family, and lifestyle. Mm-hmm. If you can put it into those 3 buckets. Mm-hmm. So now you say, okay, in service to that, people don't invest for money because they've got some money now. Why would they go give it to somebody else? Well, they want to, again, you get the process. So what we don't do very well in the investing world, as Americans in particular, the rest of the world doesn't do a very good job either. And believe me, I've spoke all over the world on this. I've talked to lots of people. They don't even understand how the investments that they're doing works. They don't take time to learn how. They throw blind faith behind a why of greed, which is where it usually lands, and they let it go. They just let it fly. They don't create money rules. They don't have methods of investing. They don't understand what's going on. What happened in Robinhood recently, and then this is not a negative towards Robinhood. If any of you guys know Robinhood, the online trading app, competitor of ours, but a little different than what we do. But they talked about an oil fund that the oil was so depressed, and I don't have the numbers exactly in front of me, but it was like 200,000 people without understanding that there was a contango spread going on, and this thing was designed by hedge fund experts to prey on retail investors, which is exactly what it did. 197,000 people put their money into that fund, and guess what it's worth now? 0. No homework, no understanding, no paying attention. They got excited, they got emotional, and they took a swing. That's how people invest. Or they take their money down and hand it to a professional that's going to charge them so much in fees, and the funds, the system itself preys on that person. The 2 hows, you're lost. And so, first you got to know your why, then you got to know how. Does that mean you got to be an expert? Do you have to be a Kelly like my partner? No. But you have to at least understand the deal. Maybe you're going to buy some real estate. What are your money rules around the deal? I bet you there's people on this call that have invested in some real estate deal or some real estate fund or something somewhere without a clear understanding of when they would get paid, how much they would get paid, and what would happen if they didn't get paid. They don't know. So we just get excited, and our how is designed, our how is rooted in our emotions and our excitement about something we saw. And it's unfortunate because it doesn't have to be that way.
Right. No, it is. Is that me you're hearing in the background? Let me see if anybody else. No, okay. It is true, and it makes that, it's the emotion. It gets you every time. Everybody I know is ever, it's that emotional, and it's like the emotional intelligence just went away. Right, poof, that's it. So, this has been great, and actually, I'll link again for everybody, the link, so you can go out and get Randy's app. It's freaking awesome. I've used it now, God, 2 years, and it rocks.
You've been on it a while.
I did. It rocks. I think it's almost, we're at 2 years now, and it freaking rocks. It's all I use now for. But we're not financial planners. I'm not anything like that. I'm just telling you, it rocks. It really rocks. And I'll post that link again for everybody on the site. And we'll have the link. So if you want to use the software, it's just freaking awesome. And it's an app now, so it's even more awesome.
Yeah, they can download the free app, which is, kind of the easiest way to do it is to download the free app. And you have a text code for them that you can give them.
I do. What's the text code again?
Yeah, Mentor. I gave you Mentor.
I love it. Text Mentor 2. What? Text Mentor 2. What's the number?
No, 480 418 03
Yep.
000.
Got it.
And it's free.
And it's free.
Well, it's a different how compared to what we talked about. It's not emotional. It's completely rooted in mathematics, algorithms, and AI. There's 3 portfolios in there. You're 3 groups of stock, 3 collections of different stocks that have different algorithms attached to them. You can literally point and click and it just executes for you. It buys, it sells, it holds, it does everything completely for you. Super easy.
I have to say what I love to see, and then we'll take, anybody have a quick question, put it in the chat so we know there's a question. If not, that's okay too. When things were going the wrong way, last time we had a call, I loved the way it, in hindsight, okay, I've got to look, and it had pulled almost all my money out of the market. It did what it was supposed to do, which didn't happen to us back in 2008, right?
Yeah.
That did not happen with another company. And I'm like, I'm like, it just did what he said it would do. And we had to prove it on a really bad sequence. So that was well done. I could see some people actually are typing it in. That's awesome. Randy, this is Misty.
So I am a new investor and I love the downloading the app. Do you have any advice for me and new investors of where we could start, or amount to start with, or a routine?
Well, everybody's got to have their own money rules. Depending on how much money, if you got a couple $1,000,000 sitting there, you're different than if you got a couple hundred. What you'll notice in the app, here's what I always tell people: we're not advisors, but what we've done is we have 3 collections of stock that are in there. There's one called SPY Plus, one called SPY I, and one called Red Oil. Those are all collections of stock that Kelly has put together with algorithms on them that's fully automated. That means your how becomes the mathematics and the algorithm. You also have the ability to buy and sell your own if you want. Again, there's no cost to it as long as you keep your investment under $6,000. If you go over $6,000, they will charge you $10 a month. So we want to make sure that we understand we're not advisors, not giving you advice on what to do. However, that platform is designed for the person that doesn't know what to do and can just let the math work for them.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. And Misty, welcome again. Brand new member to I've known Misty a while, but brand new member. Give her a round of applause.
Welcome.
Randy, any last words before we let you go? And everybody just stand with me for a minute and then we're done.
No, I was going to say goodbye. Thanks for having me on. Always a pleasure to come talk with you, Mike. I appreciate you to death. We'll put this up on our YouTube stuff. Also, I'll promote whatever you need me to promote for you. You just let me know what you need, and I'll drive traffic for you.
Awesome. And if you can just go to the Mentor Studio YouTube channel too. If you can drive some traffic there, just for subscribers, just we're building that. That would be fantastic. Yeah. And then we'll get this out, and I'll get you the shows that have been done so you can put that out. Yeah. Everybody, I'm going to unmute them, and let's give Randy a huge, thunderous round of applause. There we go. Awesome.
Thanks, Randy.
Thanks.
Awesome. And
Thanks,
for you, Yep. And by the way, for you listening to the podcast, Randy's freaking amazing. iFlip, again, we'll have all the information of how you can get there for the app. You heard how to do it with the text. Again, I will say it again. It's text the word mentor to 480-418-0300. Randy, thank you so much. You have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, Randy.
Bye.
For everybody on the podcast, you guys have been amazing. Subscribe to the Mentor Studio YouTube channel. We've got the videos online so you can watch what's happened. And we really appreciate you being on. For myself and the Mentor Studio, everybody else who's on this feed, stay on. For those of myself and the Mentor Studio, we thank you so much. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.
We're honored that you invested time with us today at the Mentor Studio. Now, don't be greedy. Share this knowledge bomb with all your dope peeps on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Actually, we'll even pay you to do it. To get the deets, please check out thementorstudio.com.